Welcome to this tutorial on how to add form validations in JavaFX with regular expressions. This topic was chosen due to the importance of validations for data integrity. Furthermore, there is currently no easy form validations via the FXML editor, resulting in needing to code validations. Therefore, it'll be useful to share this knowledge. Now let's run through the classes setup for this project. Firstly, I've got all my data validation methods in a separate class to refrain from repeating methods throughout my main application. I've also got an FXML document with simple text fields and labels. Lastly, I have a controller class where I call all my form validation methods in the submit button action method. Furthermore, we'll be using regular expressions. Regular expressions are a special text string used to find pattern matches. It is used in form validation to compare if a user's input is in a certain format. As seen here, the highlighted bit is where we would enter our regular expressions. Firstly, I'll be running you through a code example of how to validate null values. As seen here, this is my null form validation method, which does not allow null inputs. The input text field is a text field we're validating. The input label is the label that we're going to show the error message on, and the validation text is the error message we're going to show. Here I'm returning a boolean, so later on I can use this as an if statement for inserting into a database, only inserting if isNull returns false. As seen here, if input textfield.getText is empty, then we'll show the validation message. I must stress here we have to use isEmpty rather than null because .getText does not return a null. As seen here in our controller class in the submit button action method, we've used the methods for isNull and put in the relevant fields. When we don't enter anything, all the data validation messages appear. Alternatively, when we enter something, they disappear. For the rest of this video, I'll be going through the remaining code examples, including data length, numbers only, alphabets only, and string formats, as they all use regular expressions. As you can see here, this is the data length form validation method, which only allows inputs with a specified length. All the inputs are similar to the other method as previously seen, except for the required length input, which allows the user to specify exactly what length in the method when they initiate it. Here you can see that the major difference is the if statement, where if the .getText does not match this regular expression as stated here, it'll throw an error message. Let's look into this regular expression a bit further. Using RegExr.com, we can see here the /b is a word boundary, which matches the beginning and the end of the specified boundary. Specifying /b allows a whole word match. /w matches any word or character that's alphanumeric and has an underscore in it. And the quantifier being 8 matches to a specific data length, here being 8. As seen here, only this string matches because it is 8 letters and is alphanumeric. Now going back here, we can now move on to the alphabet form validation method, which only allows inputs with alphabet letters. All the inputs are very similar to before, where the only difference is the if statement, where if the getText does not match the regular expression as seen in here, then it will throw an error message. Let's look into this a bit more as similar to before. So as you can see here, it lets any letters from A to Z lowercase or uppercase, which means it'll match any letters. The reason why we use this plus sign here is so we want to match everything as a block rather than not having it there, where it'll match things as a single letter or in the alphabet. Moving on to the next method being the numeric form validation. This only allows inputs with numbers. Similar to the alphabet one, this regular expression only allows numbers from 0 to 9, with the plus sign added so we can match whole blocks of numbers rather than individual numbers. So next up we have string format validations. This is validating anything that is in a certain format, and it can be very useful for things such as emails or even ZIDs to ensure that the format is correct. Here you can see the input is the same as before, where the only difference is that the if statement, so if the getText does not match this regular expression, then it will return an error message. Looking into this further, you can see here it's in an email format. It will allow anything to be inputted that's letters, lowercase, uppercase, numbers, underscores, etc., as long as it's followed by an @ symbol and then anything followed after that and then ending with a .com. This ensures the email format is correct when it's entered. Moving on, this can also be applied to ZID as seen here, when it specifies that it has to start with a Z and then be followed by 7 numbers from 0 to 9. Now going into the controller, we see here that I've applied all these methods to different things, such as the ZID being the data length, the phone number having the numeric validation, name having alphabet validation, and the email having the email validation. So submitting this with random things, all the error validations come up. But as you can see, when I input letters for name and only 8 characters for ZID, and then numbers for the phone numbers, and the email in the right format, then all the validations disappear. And now we've entered data in the right format before being saved.